Do I need a new iPhone? No. However, even before I knew how the 17 series was going to look like, I knew I was gonna get it. The truth is, I love my 15 Pro Max. It's pretty resistant, it's fast, the cameras are good, but there was this one thing that I couldn't change about it, and that is the storage. I got a 256 gigabytes iPhone, and that's simply not enough anymore. Especially when I started creating content. As good as this phone is, it starts totally lagging as soon as I fill up the storage, which I think would happen to any phone. So no matter what the 17 looked like, I knew that I was gonna need a 1 terabyte phone. And I also knew that this time I was going to upgrade to a smaller phone after having Plus or Pro Max models for many years. It turns out that my pinky really needs a break from big phones. When Apple announced their 17 series 2 weeks ago, I found that the 17 on sage green was like the most perfect phone I've ever seen. If the regular 17 had a 1 terabyte, I would totally get that one. Because I'll be honest with you, the second I saw the Pro series, I was just flabbergasted. I thought it was the ugliest design I've ever seen. And honestly, aesthetically speaking, this is prettier. But the more I looked at those phones, the more they grew on me, especially the orange one. And it's so funny because when I looked at the orange one, I was like, you're the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Ever. My phones were always gray or black or some neutral color like this, so getting an orange is very out of character for me. But you know what? I think colors are fun. And the more I looked at the orange, the more it kind of started sneaking on me that it was pretty cute. And I'll be honest, the second I saw Dua Lipa doing a mirror selfie with that, I was like, yes. This is pretty. This is what I want. And so, 1 week ago, I pre-ordered the 17 Pro in Cosmic Orange, and today I'm gonna pick it up. But I'm not gonna lie, I was very concerned when I saw Marcus's video because the tone difference on the orange was so strong on his bright lighting, and the MagSafe area on the back of the orange phone was just too bright. You know what? If I get sick of the orange, I'll just wear a case and call it a day. It's almost time to pick up my new iPhone. It's at 12, but I'm gonna be heading out to the Apple store anyways a little sooner just so I can check out maybe a few cases or a Mag wallet. We'll see. I literally arrived 15 minutes early and they were like, girl, go walk around because we cannot take you in until it's like the time of the pickup window on the dot. Because it's so packed. It's just so packed. It's crazy. So I'm like walking around the mall, just gonna get myself distracted until it's my pickup time. I know it's always expected that Apple is very crowded on release days, but still, oh my goodness, there were a lot of people. I was very lucky to skip the line a little bit because, oh, say hi, say hi. I was very lucky to skip the line a little bit because they were like, who is here to just pick up and go and not look at anything else or like not do a trade-in or something? I was like, me, please get me out of this line. And I was thinking of looking at MagSafe wallets, but you know, once you're inside the store and it's so crowded and everybody's busy doing something, it's just not worth it. So I was like, I guess I'll do that another day or maybe even use the one I already have. But here it is. Look at it's matching. Of course, the size is something that I'm gonna have to get used to. But you know, I don't need a phone bigger than this. It's crazy that I've been using one that is bigger because there's no need to. Look at them side by side. So I'll start the process of transferring all of my stuff to this phone. I did ask the guy at Apple if I could bring my phone for trade-in in the next 14 days. And he was like, well, did you select trade-in online? I was like, no, I didn't. He was like, perfect, then yes, you can bring it in anytime in the next 14 days, which is much better. I do not feel like packing up my phone and sending it away for someone to decide if it's good or not. I would very much rather bring it to the store and, I can show them that it's not broken, that everything's working perfectly. I don't know, maybe I'm paranoid, but I wouldn't want to ship my stuff. So I'll get, I think it's 510 off when I go back in. And guys, don't you think the color is cute? Like, it's matching me, I feel. Like, we're matching. I like it. Let's see how long it's gonna take to bring all of my stuff over here. I will say typing on a Pro Max is much nicer. I know I'll get used to it, but the keyboard is just so tiny. So it asked me if I wanted to update to iOS 26. I already have it in my other phone. On the next few days though, I will just share a little bit of how it feels to use it, maybe a few pictures, but I will not speak on battery a lot because indexing does take about a week or so you don't get the real performance from the battery in those first few days. I'm not worried. I know it's gonna be a better battery than mine, and my battery was good. Seems like I have a long journey ahead. These were literally stuck on 4 minutes left for half an hour. But now it seems like the transfer is done. Using this has been just a regular iPhone experience to me. I don't think Apple has ever disappointed me with a new phone. It works perfectly. Another thing that I wanted to say is that this feels much nicer to hold. It feels much more comfortable than this model. And that just makes me sad again that I have to wear a case. I got a case for my 17 mostly because I was worried about some pictures that I saw on social media showing a bunch of scratches in the aluminum frame. I have been using it without a case for 2 days and it has been fine, really, but you don't want to risk it, right? And so I have it in this case that, I don't know, it's not my favorite yet, but it's the one that I could get quick. And I also had to use a case on this phone, mostly because it got so hot that it would burn my fingers. I'm gonna go outside today and compare the cameras, even though I know there's not gonna be that big of a difference. The main things that I want to compare is the selfie. The quality of the 17 Pro is definitely better than the 15 Pro Max, but it's not a drastic difference. What I did notice the most was just how wider the 17 Pro front camera shots were because of the new square sensor. I want to see if there's a difference in the ultra wide and telephoto cameras, like if the quality changes at all, and also on dark shots. Like, this has a bigger sensor, so supposedly low light pictures should be better on this one. I think we can all see that when it comes to resolution, both phones are great. And then there's the telephoto difference. The 17 Pro has 4x zoom and the 15 has 5x. The only significant difference I noticed was in low light. The 17 did a great job at eliminating glare. I'm very, very happy with my choice. Let me know what you think of the 17 lineup this year below in the comments. Bye!